This is the component we're going to make, and it's very versatile. You can use it to make earrings or a bracelet. Here's another bracelet example. Or you can use it as a pendant. And it has multiple connection points, so you can connect the pendant at different points. You can even connect multiple components together for a different kind of necklace, or multiple strands. This is a 2-strand version and a 3-strand version. So let's talk about the materials that we're going to need. For this component, you're going to need one 14mm Rivoli crystal and 12 3x4mm rondelle crystals. You're also going to need 2 colors of size 11 Toho seed beads, as well as 2 size 6 Toho seed beads. So let's get started. I'm using a size 11 beading needle with about 2 meters of 6-pound fire line. And I'm going to start at the other end of my thread and put on a stop bead. I'll use one of my size 6 seed beads for that temporarily. I'll start with 4 gold seed beads and 3 of the colored seed beads and string that on. Next, I'll add 12 gold seed beads and string that on. Then I'll add 3 of the colored seed beads and 8 more gold. String that on. Next, I'll go back up through the first 5 seed beads. So 4 gold and 1 colored. That forms a loop. I'll skip the next colored seed bead and go all the way around until I'm going through the next colored seed bead. I'll skip the next colored seed bead and go through the rest of the seed beads until I'm back at my stop bead. Pull that tight. And here's where I can take the stop bead off and tie a knot. Make sure this is pulled tight. And tie a knot. Here's where I can snip the end so that it's out of my way. I'll continue through the last 4 gold seed beads. I'll add a colored seed bead. I'll skip all the colored ones and go through all of the gold seed beads on the next side. Add a colored seed bead, skip all the colored ones here, and go through the next 3 gold seed beads on the other side. I'll add 5 colored seed beads, string that on. and go back up through the middle 3 of those 5, skipping the first and the last. Add a colored seed bead. I'm going to skip 2 gold seed beads in the ring and go through the next 2. Again, I add 5 colored seed beads, string that on, and go back up through the middle 3. Add a colored seed bead, skip the next 2 gold seed beads and go through the next 1 seed bead. Again, add 5 colored seed beads, string that on, go back up through the middle 3, add a colored seed bead, skip the last 2 gold seed beads and go through the next colored one. I'll skip the seed bead at the tip here and go through the next colored seed bead. Again, add 5 colored seed beads, string that on, back up through the middle 3. Add a colored seed bead, skip the next 2 gold seed beads, which are the first ones on this side, and go through the next 1 seed bead. Again, add 5 seed beads, up through the middle 3, add a colored seed bead, skip the next 2 gold seed beads and go through the next 2. Add 5 seed beads, back up through the middle 3, add a colored seed bead, skip the next 2 gold seed beads and go through the next 1. Add 5 seed beads, string that on, add colored seed bead, skip the last 2 gold seed beads and go through the next colored seed bead. Skip the seed bead on the end and go through the next colored seed bead. Making our last spoke here, we've got 5 colored seed beads, back up through the middle 3, add a colored seed bead, skip the first 2 gold seed beads and go through the next 1 seed bead. Now you're back where you started in the ring. We're going to continue up through this spoke and out the tip, so we'll go to the next colored seed bead. Up the next 3. And through the tip. Now here's where we had 2 gold seed beads, so this is where we'll add a colored seed bead and go through the next tip. We'll go through the next 3 tips. 1, 2, 3. And again, we're at the other side that has 2 gold seed beads in the ring. So we'll add 1 seed bead and go through the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll continue around through the next 7 seed beads, so we're kind of going through the ring 1.5 times. So we'll continue past this seed bead, first seed bead that we added. Okay. Now before we pull that tight, here's where we can put in the crystal. So we're going to put this crystal in face down, because this is the back. And we want to position this right in the middle and tighten this, making sure that that middle of the crystal there is in the middle of this ring of seed beads. And pull tight. And check the other side, make sure it looks like everything's in the middle and centered. It looks good. So we'll continue going around to tighten it. Looking good. We kind of just continue around until it stays closed. And we want to end on the spoke going through the seed bead below this spoke that's to the left of this tip. On either side, doesn't matter. So I'll continue through a couple more in this back ring here. So I'm at the seed bead at the base of that spoke. I'm going to go up that spoke through the next 3 seed beads in the spoke and through the next seed bead. Pull that tight and check, it looks good on this side. We're going to be working this way because we see in this ring here, there's 1 seed bead in the ring that we're going through before the next spoke. We will add 1 seed bead to match that one. And we're going to skip that gold seed bead and go through the next colored bead in the next spoke. We'll go through the other colored bead in that spoke. And now we're at a point where this is 2 gold seed beads in the ring before the next spoke. So we'll add 2 gold seed beads here and go through the colored seed bead of the next spoke. And the next one. Again, we're at a place where there's one, you're going through one gold seed bead here before the next spoke. So we add one gold seed bead before going through the next spoke. So through the one and through the second. So we've added 1, 2, 1. Now we're at the end with that colored tip. So we'll add 2 colored seed beads and go through the next spoke. Now these 2 seed beads should lie behind this tip, and they do, so we're good. And then through the other seed bead of that spoke. Again, we add 1 gold seed bead and go through the next 2 seed beads in the next spoke. 1 and 2. Now we add 2 gold seed beads and go through the next 2 seed beads in the next spoke. Here we add 1 gold seed bead and go through the next 2 seed beads in the next spoke. Again, we're at the other colored end, so we add 2 colored seed beads and go through the next 2 seed beads and then in the spoke we started with. 1 and 2. Now this has given us some seed beads around the tip to go through for the next row. I'm going to fold it back over because I like to work counterclockwise. And we're going to start by going through that first gold seed bead on the edge. Add 5 gold seed beads and go through the next 2 gold seed beads. Add 5 gold seed beads and go through the next gold seed bead. Next, we put on 3 crystals with colored seed beads in between. We're going to skip over this colored edge and go through the next gold seed bead. The crystals should lie just slightly behind that edge that sticks out. Again, 5 gold seed beads and through the next 2 gold seed beads. Add 5 gold seed beads and through the next gold seed bead. Again, 3 crystals with colored seed beads in between, 1 in between each crystal, and go through the next gold seed bead. This is what we have so far. And we continue through the next 3 seed beads. And then we're ready for our next row. Okay, starting the next row, I'm going to add a gold seed bead, a crystal, colored seed bead, crystal, colored seed bead. And I'll string that on. I want to go back through the last crystal and the next colored seed bead. that tight. I'll add another crystal and a gold seed bead and go through the last 4 gold seed beads. Next, I'll go through the crystal and the next seed bead. I'll add 1 colored seed bead. I'm going to go through the 2 colored seed beads in the back behind that middle crystal. Then I'll add a colored seed bead and go through the last seed bead and crystal. I'll go through the next 4 gold seed beads. 1, 2, 3. And 4. Next, I'll add a gold seed bead, crystal, colored seed bead, crystal, colored seed bead, and string that on. I'll go back through the last crystal and seed bead. Pull that tight. Add a crystal and gold seed bead and go through the last 4 gold seed beads. Go through the next crystal and seed bead. Add a colored seed bead. Go through the 2 seed beads in the back, in the middle there. Add another colored seed bead and go through the last seed bead and crystal. So this is what we have so far. Looking good. Next, I'll add a gold seed bead and go backwards through that first gold seed bead and back up through the one I just added. Add 4 more gold seed beads and go through the last gold seed bead. Add 5 gold seed beads, go through the tip seed bead. Add 5 gold seed beads and go through the first gold seed bead. Add 5 gold seed beads and go backwards through that last gold seed bead. And then go forward through that last gold seed bead you just added. And through the next crystal and seed bead. Add 6 colored seed beads and go around this crystal through the next seed bead and crystal. add one gold seed bead, go backward through the next gold seed bead, and up through that seed bead you just added. Add 4 more gold seed beads and go through the last gold seed bead. Add 5 gold seed beads and go through the tip seed bead. Add 5 gold seed beads and go through the first gold seed bead on this side. Add 5 gold seed beads, go backward through that last gold seed bead, and forward through that last gold seed bead you added, and continue through the next crystal and seed bead. Add 6 colored seed beads, skip that middle crystal and go through the next seed bead and crystal. So this is what we have so far. It's coming together. Now we'll continue through the next 2 gold seed beads. We'll skip the next one to create a little point and then go through the next 3 gold seed beads, including the one that's in the corner there. And when I pull that tight, it should create a little point there. I'll continue through the next 5 gold seed beads. I'll add an 11, 6, and 11 gold seed bead and go backwards through the colored seed bead at the tip, and then back through the 3 seed beads I just added. 1, 2, and 3. Then I'll continue through the next 5 seed beads. And I'll continue through that corner seed bead and through the next 2 gold seed beads. I'll skip the next seed bead and go through the last 2 gold seed beads. To create that point there on that side. I'll continue through the next crystal and seed bead and through the 6 I added before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going through the next seed bead and crystal. Again, I'll go through the next 2 gold seed beads. Skip the next one and go through the next 3. And that should create a point in the middle there. right there. I'll continue through the next 5 gold seed beads. Add an 11, 6, and 11 seed bead and go backwards through the colored seed bead at the tip. And back through the 3 we just added. 1, 2, 3. And I'll continue through the next 5 gold seed beads. Through the corner, seed bead. And through the next 2 gold seed beads. Skipping the next one and going through the last 2 gold seed beads. And here I'll continue through the crystal and next seed bead. Through the 6 seed beads around the crystal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Through the next seed bead and crystal. Here I'm just going to reinforce it by going around the same exact thread path I just went through, except I'm going to skip the large seed beads at the tip to make sure those stay at a point. Now I'm back to where I started on that last reinforcement row. So here is where I can tie a knot. I'm going to go between these gold seed beads here and go through the loop once, twice, with my thread between the crystal and the seed bead. That's where I'll tighten for the knot. And this is our finished component. Connect a bail with a jump ring and you have a pendant. Or you can add ear hooks to make earrings.